Alright, what's going on, Paladins? This is the Paladins Tavern. We're open for business. Grab a cold one, sit down. We've got Diablo 2 Resurrected tonight. I think this is a phenomenal remake. I am still a massive fan of Diablo 2. Hey, what's going on, Cole? How are you? Oh boy, I'm excited. Cole's here. So this game, Diablo 2, this game came out in 99, 98, around there. Let's do the history. Let's do the history on this. Let's go over to our monitor here, and I think it was, if I'm remembering correctly, I think it was either 98 or 99 when this came out. Probably, I would say. I think I first saw it in 99. I originally bought it in 2001. Been a fan of it ever since. So I'm going to say probably came out in 98. Diablo 2 launch date. Let's see. Let's see what the old DuckDuckGo says. Oh! Look at that. Diablo 2 was released June 28th, 2000. I did not know that. The original, I think, the original Diablo came out in 96? Maybe that was the one that came out in 98. How about, let's see. Yeah, 97. January 3rd, 1997. All right. So, not too far off. Not far off. Anyway, yeah, just stoked that I get to play it. For those of you who are unaware, I am now streaming 5 nights a week, Monday through Friday. Lord of the Rings Online, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And for this month, Diablo 2 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Thursday's going to be a later stream. Going to start around 11 o'clock as opposed to around 8 p.m. Stream for 2 hours. So that's the news here. And I got a little bit more to talk about. But first I want to see what is my next quest here. Okay. All right. Look for the Horadric Malus in the monastery barracks. So we gotta head out there. So I'm about halfway through Act 1. And monastery barracks, if I remember correctly, is in the Black Marsh. This has not been the stream for me remembering anything correctly though. So let's yeah, okay. Alright, so it doesn't tell us exactly where the monastery barracks are, but that's alright. We'll find it. We'll find it. We're going to be roaming around today, I think. I think a lot of the stream is going to be roaming, killing, grabbing up items, and selling. So my nephew Cole's in the chat room. How you doing? How's things? Hopefully all is well with you. I'm sorry I was unable to see you this weekend. I'm not sure if you made it. I think you and I know what we're talking about. I'm not going to say anything, but not sure if you were present. But I did miss you. And hopefully all is well. So we got an ad break coming in the next 50 seconds. That's 50 seconds. And for those of you who are subscribed, guess what? You get to hang out with me during that minute and a half of ad time. If you're not subscribed, no worries. Guess what? This is a great time to get up, use the restroom, stretch your legs, get something to drink, little water, little coffee, little tea, what have you. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's gonna be a good stream tonight. I feel it. Feel it in my bones. Ad breaks here only last a minute and a half, so if you do experience an ad, don't go too far. We leveled up. Didn't we? We certainly did. Diablo 2, one of those games from yesteryear that still allow you to put your stat points, allocate them as you will. Man, I sort of miss that. I miss that in games these days. Looks like my chance to hit's taking a dip. I'll pump that up a little. The other thing I'm doing with this character is I'm trying to build toward a type of paladin that will be doing elemental damage as the levels progress. Now, that's going to take some time. I'm not even looking to do that in this playthrough, but there is a pathway, and you kind of have to start on it, you know, as early as possible. Uh-oh, look out. That chest was trapped. So, let's take a look at our skill tree. I've been putting into might here, which is an aura that allows me to do more damage for myself and those who are with me. Blessed aim, concentration. So down here, fanaticism. This gives you a little increased attack damage. Right down here, vengeance. This is kind of where it's at when it comes to elemental damage. Now every hit costs 4 mana, so you got to pump up the mana as well. And I've actually have not been doing that, so it may be time to start increasing that mana pool. Possibly. Pardon me. So now, what do we got? We got Zeal unlocked. That's nice. That is. Welcome back, folks, from that ad break. What level did I hit? I'm level 12 now, yeah. Alright, that makes sense. Because I believe this unlocks around at that level. I don't know off the top of my head. And doesn't look like the tooltip is telling me anymore, so yeah, looks like these are newly unlocked. Okay. Conviction. You know, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and think about it for a little while and keep things rolling. Let's keep it moving. So the goal right now is to find the rogue barracks. Once we're there, we're going to charge in, kill everything in sight, look for that Horadric Malus, which is a giant smithing hammer, and hand that off to good old Charcy over in town. That's what we're doing. That's the plan. That's our current mission. Smashing everything in sight. Whoa. Here we go. Party time, baby. Let's get all these cretins. So for those of you who are not familiar with Diablo 2, these little buggers come with they're tribal. They come with a little shaman, and the shaman resurrects them. So you gotta stay on top of that guy. You gotta find him, and you gotta kill him, and then you're able to get the rest of the little guys. Ah, I heard a key drop. Soundscape in this game is still fantastic. You can tell just by the sound. You can tell what drops in the game, and you know to look. A jewel, a chipped, a diamond or a gem of some sort. Oh, look, a key dropped. Where'd it go? Oh, more gold dropped. That level of detail in the sound was not common. Not common back in the day. Yes, I made my way back to the Darkwood. I should be in the Black Marsh. What happened? How did I get here? Coffee. Okay, I wandered south. Southeast. That's how that happened. Another great thing about Diablo 2 at the time when it came out was it had modular levels. So what does that mean? It means that while playing through a level, the game would construct the level in pieces. As soon as you enter, it would start putting this thing together in pieces. It would draw from multiple pieces that it has in its data set, and then put that together in a randomized fashion with some logic that would make sense. And the result of that was you could run the same dungeon multiple times, and the experience in getting through that level would be very, very different. It would look similar. However, if you enter the dungeon on the first level and you're looking for the second level, and say the first time you ran through that dungeon, the second level was in the northeast portion of the map, the next time you ran through that dungeon, it would be nowhere around there at all. You would have to look for it all over again. And the cool part about that was as you're killing creatures, you're gaining tons of experience doing that, which helps level up your character. But as you see, I'm killing creatures and stuff is dropping off of them, right? You would get an increased chance to loot some items that would be, a big upgrade from what it is that you're currently using. Weapons, armor, etc. So, it facilitated that part of the game where you would wander around often, and the wandering and the excessive enemy destroying would really yield some cool upgrades for yourself and more experience. So both parts of those dungeons, both parts of those mechanics in this game really went well together. It also increased the replayability of the game. You could play this game 100 times, and each time, literally each time, your experience was very different from the last time you played. All right. These wilderness areas really benefited from that too. I mean, as you can see, you know, as I'm wandering around, like I'm really not sure where my destination is. I have to find it every single time, and so it encourages me to get into these massive fights with these enemies. I'm wandering around anyway. And I have more of a chance as I'm fighting these enemies. I have more of a chance of getting increased experience and gold and better item drops. When I was in college, as a young man, I was going to school for business, and I was told at the time, I had a class assignment, I was told, find a company and do a presentation on that company. Tell us about you know, a product of theirs and why it's a good product. And so I did. I was playing a tremendous amount of Diablo 2 at the time. I mean, every single night I come home from my my work, my part-time job at my part-time retail job at Sam's Club. I don't know if you guys have, if you have Sam's Club in your area. It's like a warehousing retailer. What's up, Ty? Welcome. Glad to see you. It's kind of like BJ's or Costco. Anyway, I was working there, and when I wasn't in school or at work, I was at home playing Diablo, and I was like, I was just smashing like 6 hours a night playing this game like a fiend, and like an absolute crack fiend. And so I mean, I was playing more Diablo 2 than I was working. So. Anyway, I was like, oh, great, this gives me an opportunity to actually kind of show off something I'm super interested in for school. And so I did my presentation on the company who made this game, which is called Blizzard. I did my presentation on them and this game, Diablo 2. And by the time I was done with that presentation, I had my entire classroom. They were super interested in the game, in playing the game themselves. And just to give you an idea, this wasn't a classroom full of, you know, college-age students. Most of the people in my class at the time, because I was going to school at night, were the age that I am now, in their 40s with kids. You know, career people looking to, you know, advance their career or you know, their education to advance their resume and had, you know, a family at home. I had all these people. They were like, oh man, this game looks so good. Even the professor, he was like, wow, this game looks fantastic. And you could play this. They had all types of questions. Like, you could play this what kind of a computer does this take? And I gave them my computer specs, and boy, it was a lot of fun, that presentation. I'll never forget that. The other thing I thought of was, man, I really enjoy public speaking. That was another thing I learned in college, doing all those presentations for business school, was that I greatly enjoyed public speaking. All right, we've got Arturius is in the chat room. Oh boy, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Hold on, Arturius. I'll get to you in a second. This is getting super intense, man. These guys just... Oh, no. My helper died. Alright, you know what we're going to do? We're going to pump the resist fire aura. I'll get back to those guys. This is called a tactical retreat. For those of you in the audience who may be interested in police work, it's never a retreat. It's never running away. It is called a tactical retreat. Look at these homeboys shooting at me. What's that? Refilling shrine? Oh man, that refilling shrine came in handy. Come on, you brat. Smash the hell out of her. Okay. Hold on. Let's be smart about this next approach. Okay? I don't have much to go on here. Alright. Some healing potion drop down here. We're gonna scoop that up. Alright, you ready? We're going in. Ah. Boom. Some more healing potion here. So these guys can be a little difficult to hit because of their dexterity modifier. But if you gotta chase them down just a little bit. Alright, where are the other ones? See, this is good. They're kind of scattered. So I'm not going to be taking all that fire damage like I was before. That was rough. Alright, looks like we got it. Where was I? Yeah, there we go. Great thing about this Paladin character is that it relies on auras. And each aura acts as a passive buff on you and those you're partied up with. So, it really is kind of puts your character in sort of like a leadership position among the multiplayer game. All right, we're going to town portal out of here and catch up on the chat room. We're coming back. We're coming back. All right, folks. Now that we're safe, let's hold on. Let's switch over to the old just chatting tab. Here we are. We're just chatting. Let's catch up on the chat room for a second. Arturius is saying, "Me on my way to commit systemic genocide forces of hell because they loot." Because the loot they drop is more valuable than a day's wage. Even back in school, Ivarwin was a wholesome nerd wanting to stream and talk about video games he likes. I will survive, begins playing. The easiest way to make holy water is to heat it up. This allows you to boil the hell out of it. I like that's a good one. I think the really great thing about this Paladin character is it's Ivarwin. Yeah, yeah. This is this game. This is the first Paladin I ever played in any video game, and I named it's the first one ever to carry that name, Ivarwin. Very first. So, very near and dear. This game is very near and dear to me. Let's have Deckard Cain here identify these items. Let's sell them out to Charcy, who's got probably one of the most attractive voices I've ever heard in a video game.
Good to see you.
Hey. Good to see you too. Sell a couple of these keys here. You only need so many. And oh, wait a second. Shoot. I sold that sapphire. Why did I do that? Tie. Hell yes. Do I really want to buy it back? Yeah, why not? It's not going to break my bank. A voice to make a paladin question their oath of celibacy. Paladins don't make oaths of celibacy. Priests do. That's a huge distinction, my friend. Yeah, you gotta watch that. Actually, the Bible talks about avoiding holy men with vows of celibacy. Holy men are not supposed to abstain. They are supposed to get married and have a family. Why would you ever become a priest when paladins are right there? Right? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Here I am playing the game and I'm still focusing on I still got this wrong. I got the wrong thing up here. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. I think I got it right here. Just give me a second, folks. I'm looking up I like to bring the receipts when I make a biblical claim. I like to bring the receipts. So the passage that I'm referring to comes from 1 Corinthians chapter 7, 32 to 34. But the issue is that a lot of the versions of the Bible, different translations, can be really difficult to read. So I like to, whenever I find the passage I'm looking for, I always like to go to the New Living Translation, which is just a much more accessible version of English. 32 to 34. NLT. The NIV is very good as well. Okay. And then I'll share my screen. So, right here, this talks about marriage. And now this is, I believe, Paul talking to the church in Corinth, saying, I want you to be free from the concerns of this life. An unmarried man can spend his time doing the Lord's work and thinking how to please him. But a married man has to think about his earthly responsibilities and how to please his wife. His interests are divided. In the same way, a woman who is no longer married or has never been married can be devoted to the Lord and holy in body and spirit. But a married woman has to think about her earthly responsibilities and to please her husband. Okay, so this is where this is not the doctrine that I was referring to. But this is a doctrine that talks about, and this is the reason why Catholic priests don't get married, is so they can focus all their time on the Lord. So I brought a different receipt. There we go. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, it does. It does hint toward it. It definitely does. But there is a specific passage. And I also don't like to cherry pick the Bible either. I think you can really, extrapolate the wrong things when you cherry pick the Bible. Um, a lot of mistakes get made that way, for sure. Yes, context is key. So I don't like to cherry pick. But you know what? Here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to say that I guess the Lord wants this to be what's said today, and I don't have, I don't have a lot of, I guess, time to really kind of dive into where specifically it says priests not marrying. So I don't know. I could spend time looking for it, but I think maybe the Lord wants this to be the message today. And so I'm just going to be humble and say there it goes. That's what the Lord wants on my stream today. A Varwin Bible stream. I'd like that. That'd be fun. So I was trying to make a point, but I guess the Lord wants to make a different point. And we're gonna let that be. Okay. Now, maybe an Easter Bible stream? That'd be nice. Anything that glorifies God is great. Oh, yeah, I gotta go get my hireling. There we go. Ah, a ring. Okay, so we are on our way. Oh, look at that. Some nice legendary leather armor there. And here we go. The monastery gate.
The light cannot pierce this gloom.
Arturius, is it racist to say that sounds better in Arabic? God is great. Good is great. God is great. No. I don't think so. Why would that be the case? They have a beautiful language, and quite proud of it, as well as they should be. Arturius. Whoa, look out! Whoa! Okay. Let's see if there's an upgrade for my my hireling here. Very much so.
I'll put that to good use.
And she can use it. Fantastic. New ad breaks coming up in the next 50 seconds. So, as we like to say here, if you are not subscribed, you got a minute and a half. Go relax. Get yourself something to drink. Stretch your legs. If you are subscribed, you'll enjoy ad-free. Alright, so now that we're here, we're looking for the... Hold on. Horadric Malus in the monastery barracks. Now Charcy's looking for this to get. Charcy's looking for this. She needs that malus back. It's a smithing hammer. So we're gonna go get this for our girl over at the rogue encampment. Look at this guy. Man. Mind part. Got teleportation on him. Woo! Insane. Let's pump up the vitality a little bit here. There we go. Cause I'm starting to feel it. Oh, there we are. Waypoint. Alright, let's head back to the rogue encampment. I want to pick out, I got 2 skill points here that I need to pick out. Guess I'll put my first point here into Holy Bolt, because eventually I'm going down to Fist of the Heavens. And then I'll start unlocking Resist Lightning. Because all of these skills here will eventually buff up, not Fanaticism, Vengeance. And Salvation as well. So I want to spend those points here. Might's doing pretty good. So I think we'll go with that. Yeah. Holy Bolt for when the foul demon spawn are outside of smiting range. For sure. Holy Bolt's a great skill. Okay. All right, so this is why we have good strong debate here in the Catholic Church, or I should say in Christianity. Let's focus right back over here. All right, we're at 1 Timothy chapter 4, verses 3 to 5. Okay. Now we had, so I was making a point before that holy men should not abstain from marriage, and then the Lord directed me over to 1 Corinthians, where Paul had said holy men should abstain from marriage, or made the point that if you do abstain from marriage, you can focus more on the Lord. Here, in the letter 1 Timothy, here in 1 Timothy, we have this. They will say it is wrong to be married and wrong to eat certain foods. But think about some traditions, okay? You know, no meat on Fridays. You know, if you want to be a priest or a holy person, don't get married. Think about some of these things. But God created those foods to be eaten with thanks by faithful people who know the truth. Since everything God created is good, we should not reject any of it, but receive it with thanks. For we know it is made acceptable by the word of God and prayer. So you could say right here, well, it looks like the Bible is saying two different things. It is not. It's what it is saying is that it's acceptable to your position of your heart is what's most important to God, not what you eat, and not the fact that you're married or not, and preaching the word. That's not what's important to God. What's important to God is your position of your heart. It says right here, be thankful for the things. Don't think that the things that God created are wrong. It's not. God created all things that are good. Okay, but be thankful for what you eat. Be thankful for the things you engage in with your husband or your wife. Okay, and on the other scripture, and this is the last point, is that Paul wasn't saying that you shouldn't abstain from marriage in order to live out a life dedicated to the Lord. It's just that if you do, you're not distracted. If you decide not to get married, you'll find that you are not distracted by the things of life, and you can dedicate yourself more to the Lord. But again, this is about the position of your heart. So really, at the end of the day, the choice is up to you. The choice is between the relationship you have with the Lord. Be prayerful about these decisions. Don't just make them wantonly, and make sure that, you know, whatever you decide, you're giving thanks, and that you're doing what you believe is the Lord's work for you. So there we go, right? So I want to thank God for giving me the insight here. And the opportunity to pass along His word, and also for being humbled in front of people. So thank you, Jesus, for that. Arturius, a common misconception is that the Bible isn't actually one book. It's several, written by different people in different locations at different times. They're each a rough interpretation by those few important holy men, then condensed down into one book over time that has then been translated and interpreted for centuries. Yeah, but it's important to remember that you can really see the holy work of God in that, because all of those people, it's 40 different authors over a course of like 2,500 years, something like that. They all say the same thing, and every book in the Bible ultimately the purpose of it is to point to Jesus, and all of those interpretations and translations are based on the same words. I have a massive book. My webcam's all messed up. I gotta fix that. I have a massive book. It's called Strong's Concordance, and it's a huge dictionary. of what all of these translated versions of the Bible, they all boil down to the same Greek and Aramaic words. So I have it's a massive book. It's like this, and you can look up like, okay, in this translation it uses these words. What's the root of this word? What's the Greek root? It's this. What does that mean? It's that, and it all means the same thing. So that's just an important side note. This is why there's contradictions on occasion. The contradictions are in the misinterpretation of people that people have reading the book. If you actually study the Bible, there are no contradictions. It's pretty incredible. I've spent time reading and studying and learning, and there are people, they point to certain things like, oh, this is a massive contradiction. But again, like we were saying earlier, Arterius, it really boils down to context. Context is really key. A lot of folks will say, why is the God of the New Testament so different than the God of the Old the God of the Old Testament? He's not. He's not different in the slightest. It's just we're talking about different eras in history, a different work that needed to be done. And it's pretty wild, you know. Some of the things that people will point to is in that difference is like, oh well, the God of the Old Testament is incredibly violent and is guilty of genocide, and yet the God of the New Testament, you know, wants to love everyone and hug them. That's a major difference. It's not. At all. And the difference was that this we're looking at a time in history where the Lord had promised the Israelites the land of Canaan, and the land of Canaan was infested with demonology, and these people refused to listen to God and repent for their ways, and they would do some really terrible things. For example, one of the ways in which they revered some of their gods, specifically I think Molech, was they would sacrifice their babies, their infant children, in the fires of Molech. I think it was Molech. It was either Molech or Baal. And I mean, this grieved the Lord, and the Lord is about love, but the Lord is also about justice. And if things persist for too long, then the Lord will send an army to get rid of a stain of sin. And those people that the Israelites destroyed in the land of Canaan, under orders from God to purge the land of Canaan of their demonic practices, well, they themselves found tremendous judgment from the Lord when they picked up the same practices hundreds of years later in the kingdom of Jerusalem. And they found themselves enslaved by the Babylonians. So it's not different. It's not different at all. And so that's just one thing that I like to sort of clarify, because it's a huge point of it's a huge, I think, misconception that folks have regarding the nature of God and who He is. And there has yet to be a well, let me put it this way. Archaeological discoveries match what's written in the Bible. And so a lot of what I'm saying today, and a lot of what's history in the Bible, and I do regard the Bible as a history book. A lot of what's in there has already been corroborated by discoveries in archaeology. Oh, an amulet. Very interesting stream tonight. The Lord is definitely leading this stream in a way I did not guess. Let's catch up on chat. Arturius again. This is why there's contradictions on occasion. That's easy, because once the necessary genocide is over, it's not needed anymore. So now he can be all loving and caring until the next one. Molech and Baal do have a fair bit of overlap. Pretty sure babies was from Molech, but that's top of my head. Ooh, piece of candy. So I want to get back to this comment that you're saying here. That's easy, because once the necessary genocide's over, it's not needed anymore. So now he can be all loving and caring until the next one. The real, I want to say yes. I want to say yes to that. And the issue is not the Lord. It's us. So a lot of folks will critique and criticize God and say, well, if God was truly a loving God, then why is there all this evil in the world? Let's remember the lesson of Adam and Eve. Okay, the Lord did not put the evil in the world. We did. Okay, God doesn't send angels to do terrible things. We do terrible things, and God sends angels and holy people to correct that, and doesn't start with genocide. In these instances, in both instances that we talked about, the conquest of Canaan and also the sacking and destruction of the Second Temple in Jerusalem and the Jewish enslavement to Babylon, for a very long time, and it's documented, the Lord sent his prophets to tell people, turn away from your evil ways, turn away from your sinful ways. You made a covenant with me to not honor other gods. You know, we did the conquest of Canaan, so this wouldn't be an issue, and now you're making it an issue. He told the people of Canaan, in the ways that they could best understand, to stop doing what you're doing, and in all forms that got ignored for a very long time. Wasn't that, it wasn't like a week, wasn't 2 weeks, wasn't a year or 10 years. It was a few hundred years. I mean, how long do you want God to be patient with our sin? So yes, yes, you're right, Arturius. That is what happens here. That's the pattern. Once the necessary genocide is over, it's not needed anymore. So now it could be all loving again until the next one. And the Lord would love it if we could, conduct ourselves in a holy way, so there would not need to be for such a correction. But after Jesus, there wasn't a need for that anymore. He paid for it all. That's the good news. We call the Bible the good news. That's the good news. The good news is that there isn't a need for a flood. There isn't a need for, a massive correction requiring armies to destroy large swaths of the Lord's children. There isn't a need for this anymore. Because Jesus paid it all. And all we have to do is just tell God, like, look, I'm sorry. I messed up. I am wrong. I am a sinful person, and I need you. and I want you in my life, and I'm sorry. Can you please forgive me? And I know I'm going to mess up again. I know this is a problem for me, but with you, all things are possible, Jesus. And with you, I can overcome. And I don't know if you're leading me through a life that this is just something I struggle with for the rest of my life. But I have faith that you're going to direct me. And I know that your love for me is infinite. And I know your love for me is perfect and holy. And I have faith in that. And if you just lead me, Jesus, if you just lead me, Father, then I know we can get through this life together, and I can be in peace with you in heaven forever and ever. Amen. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's about. It's a free sacrifice that Jesus gave us, and I honestly don't understand why anyone would not welcome that into their hearts. All right, let's town portal. I got a couple of things here that I need to...
Yes.
Well, no, I think I'm good. Unfortunately, I think
Hello.
my poor hireling died again. Tarj. Okay, so I could probably sell all this stuff. Oh yeah, amulet. I got a new amulet. 19 to attack rating. Do I really want that though? When I've got 8% better chance of getting magical items. 2 to strength, 1 to mana after each kill. That might be worth it. The 2 to strength is nice, and the extra mana, even though it's tiny, you know, that can help with some of those mana sucking skills that that I get. Such as, let's take a look at the old skill tree again. Combat skills. Yeah, this bad boy. Zeal. 2 mana per hit. 4 mana per hit. Conversion. 4 mana per hit. Eesh. So, eventually, I'm going to have to start stacking some mana after kill gear. Let's put this here. One of my favorite stories from when missionaries were converting the Nordic pagans, there was one case where, when being told of Jesus' crucifixion, they basically went, things would have gone down differently if me and the boys were there. I don't know what that refers to. But that does remind me of a very interesting side note. That had Jesus been born earlier or later in history, his mission would not have been accomplished. He was positioned perfectly in history for him to do what he did, and that, I think, speaks to just the perfect timing of the Lord as well. God is so great, guys. I could talk about God this entire stream, and I know God would love it, but I also don't want to bore any of my good listeners. I just pray that one day, well, let's face it, it's not going to get easier. It's only going to get harder. Oh well. Oh well. Replenish life, poison resist. You know, I really don't want that. Yeah, I gotta swap this out, guys. A 10 to attack rating. I'd rather the 2 to strength and 1 mana after each kill versus the 10 to attack rating. Okay. First ever Paladin's Tavern convention is going to take place in a church. Yeah, I don't know about a church, but the Lord is welcome wherever we go. I think that would be fun though, to have like a tavern meetup, and then do it at a tavern. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Wow, that guy was squishy. Oh, man. Okay. Another chest. Oh, good. Light healing potion. I need more of that. The minor healing potion, it's not for me right now. I'm leveling past it. Turius. Wow, that guy was squishy. Guess we know how Varun prefers his men. I like it when my demons spawn, you know, splat and splutter all over the floor. I prefer that. You know, like an overfilled raspberry jam sandwich taking a mallet to it, you know? Splat. Another light healing potion. Okay. Oh, I think I see. Now I'm hungry. I know, right? Go make weapons from your bones. Yeah, bro. Oh. Man, this guy hits like a truck. Holy smokes. You can drop anything. Nonsense. Well, there's Charcy's.
This will help the sisters turn the tide against evil.
That's Charcy's Horadric Malus. We did it, fellas. We did it. Awesome. All right, let's go back to Charcy. And let's let her know. Hey, girl.
Stay a while and listen.
Got your hammer.
Oh, thanks so much for returning the Horadric Malus.
Oh,
I
shucks,
will
you're
now
welcome.
imbue one of your items with magical powers.
Any upgrades at all? Look at this. Ah, jeez. I'm wearing fur armor. Varwin should do a D&D campaign, except it's just a complete recreation of the first Crusade. That's what Crusader Kings 3 is all about. It's a great game. I play that every Saturday night with my brother-in-law. We have a great time playing CK3. Incoming ad break. 50 seconds away, folks, from some ads. If you are subscribed, you don't have to worry about it. If you're not, you got a minute and a half there to stretch your legs, get a little something to drink, maybe a nosh or three, and head on back. Got 30 seconds left till that hits. In the meantime, I am going to be looking at some armor here. and wondering if I should don it. Wow, this is some pretty beefy fur armor. Defense is 45. Heard CK3 is good. Personally, though, I prefer my space genocide game with Stellaris. Never played Stellaris. CK3 is good. It's a lot. It's a really complicated game. I think I'm only starting to feel somewhat comfortable playing it, and I've put probably about 20 hours into the game already. I mean, it's a lot. All right, who's giving me the next quest? Yeah, Deckard Cain.
Stay a while and listen. It is certain that we face the Demon Queen,
Andariel,
who has corrupted the rogue sisterhood and defiled their ancestral monastery. This does not bode well for us, my friend.
This does not bode well.
Horadric texts record that Andariel and the other lesser evils once overthrew the three prime evils, Diablo, Mephisto, and Baal, banishing them from hell to our world. Here they caused mankind untold anguish and suffering.
Yeah, 20 hours into it? Ah, okay, so you just started the tutorial. Yeah, pretty much.
Presence here could mean that the forces of hell are once again aligned behind Diablo and his brothers. If this is true, then I fear for us all. You must kill her before the monastery becomes a permanent outpost of hell, and the way east lost forever.
Okay, so that gives us the quest. Find Andariel's lair in the depths of the monastery catacomb. Let's hope we find some upgrades in here. I could definitely, well, I don't know. Let's check out the inventory. Yeah, what is this that I'm using? Club. I gotta do more damage. Upgrades, people. Upgrades. That's what I need. I need upgrades. Come on, folks. Let's focus on those upgrades. I know you can do it. Come on. Quite a bit of this map here uncovered. Aha! The jail, level 1.
This is no place for a warrior to die.
Nope. No place indeed. Smashing barrels, opening chests. A light belt, you say? What you got, man? Meh. No bueno. There's a lot of opportunity here to get some upgrades. It's not like there isn't. Whoa, look out! Ah! My hireling took that right in the face. Jeez. Didn't even complain about it either. It's just massive fireball straight to the face. One. It's good when they don't complain after taking it right to the face. Yeah. Because then you gotta deal with all their belly aching afterward. Whoa, look out! There are some, in this dungeon, there's some false walls. You gotta watch out for them. Because if you pop one open, chances are there's like a chest or two inside, and you might get some good loot out of there. They're, a little hard to find, but if you know what to look for, kind of jump right out at you. Also, the map helps too. The map helps to identify them a little bit. Oh, hey guys, what's going on? Nothing, just being some skeletons. Alright, cool, cool. Whoa, look out! Whoa! Boom. Open door. Man, this is my thing. I love this. This is so good. I love a great dungeon crawler. Just roaming through a dungeon. Okay, so there's a false wall over here. I think maybe it's... There we go. Found it. A little gold, some chest, another chest. Alright. Told you. Once you know what to look for, you can pop them open pretty easy. So tomorrow, it'll be our regularly scheduled stream for Lord of the Rings Online. And tomorrow being Wednesday, I'm sort of hoping I can squeeze in an afternoon stream in Lotro as well. Got some good news. The first episode of Wayward Radio, the podcast produced by me, owned by Once Lost Games, for their new project, The Wayward Realms, described as a grand RPG, the spiritual successor to Elder Scrolls II Daggerfall. That podcast is got its first episode now available. And I'm extremely excited that it has finally launched. And I am going to send you guys a link right now for it. It's on YouTube. It's also available. The audio format is available on Spotify, and we're trying to get it up on Apple Podcasts. There seems to be a delay there, though. There you go. That's the YouTube link. Oh, and I guess I don't know. Probably Arturius, right? You'd probably like the RSS link so you could subscribe. I think I have that in my Discord. Let me open up Discord. Sorry about that. Ty already started listening to him. Fantastic. I'm glad. Hopefully you're enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun producing the show for them. Here, yeah, Arturius bonk. I'm. Sometimes I lose all spatial awareness. So there you go. So that's the RSS feed if you want to subscribe to the audio-only version. Be right back, folks. All right, folks. Very sorry, but unfortunately, the family needs me. We got a little bit of an issue going on downstairs, so gonna have to cut the stream here. I do apologize greatly. However, hopefully I can make up for it tomorrow and do a little extra streaming. So follow me on X at Paladin's Tavern. If you're not already if you're not already following the channel, if you do follow the channel on Twitch, you'll know when I go live. I know, Arturius, I'm very sorry. Artur, after the Bible talk today, I now have this image in my head of Avarwin getting Jehovah's Witness at the door, inviting them and teaching them about the Bible. That's funny. That's very funny. Okay, take care, everyone. Be safe, and I will see you tomorrow.